Whenever you're ready, President Wright.
Oh, is it 3?
Yes, ma'am.
It is 3 o'clock. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I will call this meeting to order. It's the meeting of the Mission Springs Water District. It's Monday, December 20th, 2021, and it's our regular board meeting. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please.
Director Sewell.
Here.
Director Grasha.
Here.
Director Duncan.
Here.
Vice President Martin.
Here.
President Wright.
Here.
Thank you. We have quorum.
Thank you. Rules of procedure. Hello, Mr. Pinckney.
Hello. So according to the rules of procedure adopted by the Board of Directors, all notice meetings are conducted using Rosenberg's Rules of Orders as a procedural guideline. The president of the board presides at all meetings and decides all points of order and procedure during meetings. The president is responsible for the maintenance of order and decorum at all board meetings. No person should be allowed to speak who has not first been recognized by the president. All questions and remarks should be addressed to the president as a presiding officer. No member of the board should speak more than once upon any one subject until every other member of the board wishing to speak on the subject shall have been given an opportunity to speak. No board member shall interfere with the orderly progress of a board meeting. In order to ensure the orderly progress of board meetings, the board president regulates the amount of time to be dedicated to a particular agenda item.
Thank you. I'm going to do the invocation now. We ask the Heavenly Father in thy infinite wisdom to guide the members of this board in such a way that all their thoughts, endeavors, and decisions will be made for the betterment of the entire community. We also beseech thee to protect our country and our people from all conflicts, foreign and domestic. Amen. Okay, public input. Do we have anybody for public input for items that's not on the agenda today?
I had a chance to ask everybody but one. RJ, iPad, are you here to observe or would you like to make public comment today?
Lori, that's Rolando. He's here for his 18-year.
Oh, okay, excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, ma'am, nobody present for public input.
Okay, we just lost the screen. I don't know if you know that or not. But. Okay, item number 6, human resources report.
back. Okay. This is what one of my favorite moments.
I think the mic is off.
Mr. Wallen, please use your microphone.
I apologize. And this is a time when we get to recognize our staff for some of the outstanding work that they've done and the dedication that they've given the district. And you know, they're a hardworking team, and I've never been more proud of our staff and appreciate everything they do. We're going to start out with anniversaries, and the first one is Amanda Lucas, joined us 5 years ago. So this is a significant anniversary, and is currently serving as an administrative assistant to our operations department. Don't let her quiet demeanor fool you. Amanda runs a very tight ship and keeps the department organized and running smoothly. And if you ever get a chance to visit with Amanda, you can tell she's extremely bright and very educated and so much fun to have on board. And to share a little bit more about Amanda is going to be Brian Macy.
Thank you, Thank you, General Manager. Actually, I'm taking over for Pfas, who could not be with us today. But yes, I just wanted to read something that Pfas prepared. It's been a pleasure working with Amanda for the past 3 of her 5-year tenure with the district. Amanda has grown from the very first day I started here, and she continues to grow and exceed my expectations. In her short time with the district, she has learned a lot about water and wastewater, and is on track for great things within this department. We're glad to have her. Thank you for all you do, Amanda.
Thanks, Brian.
You can have it.
And I just, it's really exciting to get to be able to stop and talk about some of these employees. The next one has been with me for a long, long time. And that's Rolando Jimenez, who joined the district in 2003, before I got here, actually. He started as a construction and maintenance worker. He moved into the production department in 2006 and I think I'm the one that put him there as a water production worker 1, and graduated to a water production operator 2 in 2007. After more than 18 years of service to the district, Rolando is hanging up his tools and retiring next month.
Oh, really?
I know. We're going to miss him. He has been an integral part of our water production, and we are going to miss him professionally and his expertise immensely. Rolando not only operates and maintains the valves and the pumps and the wells and the hydrants and the booster stations and the reservoirs, but he also helps out with the water testing program to ensure the continued delivery of our, of course, award-winning water. To say a few words about, or not again, but to say a few words about Rolando and his current supervisor, maintenance superintendent, Jeff Nutter. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I agree with all
online.
your comments
Yeah, I
there,
saw it, Jeff.
Arden. Rolando's been, a very big asset to the water production department. And with him leaving us here in a few weeks, he will definitely be missed, and it's going to be noticed until we get the other staff member up to his caliber of production, quality. He's taught the other staff a lot in the last few months, and his goal is to leave here with, the department in the best hands, and he's doing a phenomenal job doing it right now. So I can't say thank you enough to, Rolando and all of his efforts here in the last few months.
I've had a lot of, thanks, Jeff. When we work together this long, Rolando and I have had a lot of very fun times and a lot of laughs, and we can always rely on him, and we're going to miss him, but he's retiring and going into another phase of his life. So good luck there, Rolando.
Yes. Good luck.
Next is another very accomplished individual that came on board about the same time that a little after me, we'd like to recognize our field service representative, Joe Hernandez, who we want to recognize for completing his cross-connection specialist certification. Now, if you don't know what that means, I'm going to tell you, it is a very difficult test, and a lot of people don't make it, especially the first time. This is a critical certification for us to ensure the continued protection of our system from contamination, and we do want to protect that award-winning water. This is not easy to achieve. Students must accumulate more than 40 hours of active classroom participation, basically in an instructor-led course, and pass the final exam with a score of 70% or greater. During the course, they learn about cross-connection control measures and how to properly set up a cross-connection control program. We're very proud of Joe and his accomplishment here. And in case you didn't know, Joe is also a master float builder. He was the one that had a lot of the ideas for that award-winning float.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He was the chief architect behind our holiday float and singing of Frosty, the snow.
Well, yeah, it was remarkable. We got a first place out of it. Thank you, Jose, or Joe. Excuse me.
Yeah, and then some little rumor out there says that he has always had quite a Halloween decoration. So he must be quite a talented artistically. He must be. So with that said, I'm going to let the customer service manager, April Scott, say a few words.
Thank you, General Manager. Hello, members of the board and Madam President. Joe had, about 2 years ago, he received his tester certification for backflow program. And this is the next level, the cross connection specialist certification, that he took the course and took the exam, and then he nailed it the first time. He did fantastic. So with about 1,200 devices in our system, it's a very important program for the district to protect our water. And very, very proud. Joe consistently gets compliments on his service, and this is just another level for him. And the flow, he is very talented. So congratulations, Joe, and thank you for your hard work.
All right, thanks, April. So that concludes our recognition today for the employees. And I want to say again how proud we are of our staff, our team.
Okay,
That's it. Yeah.
thank you. Okay, item number 7, public hearing number 1 for redistricting. I will turn that over to you, General Manager.
All right, and today Misty is going to give you a presentation, and I think she's getting ready to do that right now.
So we do that before we do the public hearing. Should I open the public hearing houses? Let me see.
Yes, we'll do the
Yes, you'll open the
staff
public
report.
hearing. Okay,
We'll-
then Misty talks during the public hearing, correct?
No,
That's fine.
Or is she
no,
gonna?
I think you're going to have,
Hello, Misty.
Hi.
You can tell me what's going on. Okay.
how
Okay,
did you want to handle this, Misty? Do you want to do it before?
why don't we
or after
just,
the-
why don't we go through the staff report first and then open it up for public input?
What about the public hearing? Is it, when do I?
Yes, for public hearing, but they need to
Okay.
hear this, so, but we want to be able to have them come in and ask questions as well. So
Okay, so when that's done, then I open the public hearing and go through
Yes.
that process. Okay.
that's
thank you.
correct.
So it's all yours.
Thank you, Madam President and board members. So this will be Mission Spring Water District's first public hearing to provide input for adjustment of division boundaries. And if you will recall, I did a PowerPoint presentation, I think back in October, where I discussed the redistricting process. And mainly every 10 years, the agencies with by-district election systems must use new census data to review, and if needed, redraw the electoral division lines to reflect how local populations have changed. And this process, which is called redistricting, ensures that all divisions comply with not only California law, but the Federal Voting Rights Act. And prior to considering the specific map adjusting division boundaries, the first step is Mission Spring has to have at least one public hearing to receive testimony and comments from the board members and public on the communities and principles it should consider when during the mapping process. And some of those principles we went over with my PowerPoint presentation, if you'll recall, such as equal in population, not to be drawn with race as the predominant factor, topography, geography, cohesiveness, contiguity, integrity, compactness, and community of interest. And following this hearing, Mission Springs redistricting consultant, who's actually here today, David Eli, will prepare draft maps. That's going to be based on not only the 2020 census data, but also from comments from the board and public comments received. And the Mission Spring must complete their current redistricting process by April 17th of 2022. So therefore, the staff recommends that the board today do the following. Number 1, conduct a public hearing to receive testimony and comments regarding Mission Springs division boundaries. And number 2, consider having a draft map presented at the February 21st, 2022 regular board meeting, with adoption of a map scheduled for the board's March 21st, 2022 regular meeting. And like I said, David Eli is actually today here. I believe he's here via Zoom to answer any questions that you or the public might have about the mapping process. Thank you.
Thank you, Misty. Okay, so does David, do you want to say anything first before we start the public hearing? David Eli, I saw you on there. Welcome to the meeting, by the way.
Hi, thank you. I don't think that there's anything that I need to say at this point. I'll just listen to the public hearing, and then afterwards, if you have questions for me,
Okay, thank you.
I'd be happy to.
Okay, so this is time and place to solicit the public's input in respect to the process of adjustment of division boundaries. The purpose of the public hearing, number one, is to allow public input on the communities and principles it should consider during the mapping process. The public hearing will be declared open and legal counsel will give their report. I will then call the comments from the public. During this time, there will be no back and forth conversation between the public and the board and the staff. All questions will be noted and will be addressed after all public comments have been received. The public hearing will then be closed and the board may have a discussion if necessary. So I now declare the public hearing open. Secretary, report, please.
Notice of public hearing was posted to the Desert Sun on December 9th, 2021. As of this afternoon, there have been no comments or protests on this item.
Thank you. Staff report, Misty Calder of SBEMP.
And she's already provided that staff report before opening the public hearing, which is
Okay.
appropriate. So you can proceed with opening it up for public comment.
Okay, so please keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. If a speaker before you has made the same point, please minimize your repetition of the same point. There will be no back and forth conversation between the public and the board and the staff. All questions raised will be addressed after the public comment period. At this time, are there any members of the public there on the that want to speak on this item?
Not that indicated prior to the meeting. I will put out one last call for public comment on this item. Does anybody care to make public comment? Please unmute your mic. Madam President, it doesn't appear that we have anybody present for public comment.
Thank you. Since there's no speakers, I will hereby declare the public hearing closed. Any board discussion? Director Sewell?
No, I think when we did this process originally before the prior election, I think David Eli and legal did a great job. So I'm trusting of what they're putting together this time.
Thank you. Vice President Martin?
I'll reserve comments until we see the maps of the districts.
Okay, Mr. Duncan,
No, none for me.
Mr. Gracia.
I have a lingering question that Misty Calder might be able to address from last time around. I had David Eli, and I trust his position on this, but I hadn't heard it anywhere else quite as succinctly as he put it in terms of how the difference between consideration of directors' residences between a special district and a city. I wondered if you could shed some light on that and help me understand what the difference is and why we're treated differently, I guess.
Well, that's a good question. So there's definitely separate rules. It's a much longer process for cities to go through it. They have to go through a whole, I think it's 4 public hearings to get public input. And they have to provide several different times. They have to provide the map to the public to get input. I think the reason why is that they think it's very expensive, number one. Cities expend a ton of money doing this. And I think that so there's a specific, under the Public Resources Code, they actually separate out separate districts from cities and counties, and it's a lot less, it's less expensive. And I think that's because they recognize that cities have a lot more money than a lot of special districts. And to be quite honest, and so I think that's probably the reason why. So even though, and so we for example, we don't have to go through the Fair Map Act, which also cities have to do. So although they, so that when you look in what the special districts have to go by, it's really just, of course, the federal rules of, not factoring in race and things like that, but the topography, geography, cohesiveness, and community of interest are the only things that they show as factors besides the federal, like I said, equal population and those type of things. But it's, that's the only thing I can think of why, but I can tell you there is a different statute between the two.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. So there's no vote required on this item today. So if I don't hear anything else, right, we just go on to thing. Okay, well, thank you, Misty. Thank you, Eli, for tapping in.
Thank you.
I did already. Okay, so we just move on to the next item. Thank you.
Thank you, Misty.
Okay, item number 8, another public hearing, resolution 2021-22, adoption of the Sustainable Groundwater Management Act of 2022, Mission Creek Subbasin Alternative Plan Update. So we just start with the public hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
I would guess so, and if you have any questions, we did a presentation on this last Thursday.
Mr. Wallem, your mic's not on.
We did a presentation, I am sorry, Dory. We did a presentation on this last Thursday. And I don't know, Steve, did you have anything additional you wanted to?
There's a part in the public hearing where.
Yeah, can we?
Where he can speak up during the
Yes.
public hearing and report.
Yes, okay, so I'll just
Alright.
open the public hearing.
That's
right?
what I would do.
Okay, so this is the time and place to fix and solicit the public's input in respect to Mission Springs Water District adopting the 2022 Mission Creek Subbasin Alternative Plan Update in compliance with the Sustainability Groundwater Management Act called SIGMA. The public hearing will be declared open and the staff will give their reports. Then I will call for comments of the public. During this time, there'll be no back and forth conversation between the public and the board and the staff. All questions will be noted and will be addressed after all public comments have been received. The public hearing will then be closed and the board may have a discussion if necessary. So now I will declare the public hearing open. Secretary's report, please.
Notice of public hearing was posted to the Desert Sun on December 9th, 2021. As of this afternoon, there have been no comments or protests on this item.
Okay, thank you. Staff report, Steve Ledbetter, can't even say, Steve Ledbetter. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. I'll just add a couple items. The plan in front of you today really culminates 2.5 years of technical analysis. And it was a lot of effort put in by both consultants working on it, Wood and Kennedy Jinks, as well as the 3 agencies involved, Mission Springs Water District, Coachella Valley Water District, and Desert Water Agency. And I would also like to note that the plan itself did get posted for public comment period for 30 days back in October into November. And we had only received 1 public comment from Riverside County Flood Control, and they were just concurring with a project that we noted that they are involved in, which is the Desert Hot Springs Drainage Master Plan. I have nothing else to add in addition to the presentation we gave last Thursday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody from the public, Dory, that would like to speak on this item?
Again, I asked prior to the meeting, I will put out one last effort. Anybody wish to make public comment on this item, please unmute your microphone. Madam President, it doesn't appear anybody wishes to make public comment.
Thank you. So I will close the public hearing. Any board discussion? What about anybody on the screen there? Can wiggle your finger or something if you'd like to say something. Randy's saying no.
No.
No, okay, I don't see any board discussion. So roll call vote for approval of resolution 2021, no, where are we at? 2021-21,
22.
correct? Is that the right one? Yes.
2021-22.
22,
22, okay.
item 8.
And you need a motion in a second.
I need a motion. I'll entertain a motion to,
So moved.
Second,
okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor. Roll call vote, please.
Director Sewell,
yes.
Director Gracia,
Yes,
Director Duncan,
Yes.
Vice President Martin,
Yes.
President Wright.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Number 9, resolution 2021-21, recommending adopting of the groundwater sustainability plan for the San Gorgonio Pass subbasin. Director, General Manager.
No, I think we made our presentation. Again, Steve will be here for the public hearing. So we've had it in front of us a few times. And I don't know if, I think you'll wait, Steve, until we have open the hearing or not.
There is no hearing on this one.
Hold it. Pardon me?
There's no hearing on this one.
Correct.
Yes.
We only had the 2 hearings, and this one doesn't need a hearing, right?
Yes.
Madam
that is
President, as
correct.
as you may recall, the public hearing is only required at the GSA adoption of the plan. It's not required for Mission Springs to adopt the plan with what's in front of you today.
Yeah, this is not the time and place. Okay, anybody have any questions on this one from last time? Steve gave a good presentation. Okay, hearing none, I will enter, did we have it? I'm sorry. Did we vote on this one?
Yes.
Yes, okay, thank you. Ugh.
Yes.
Anyway, I don't know what's the matter with me today. Okay, number 10, resolution number 2021-18, amending resolution number 2020-21, revision to Mission Springs Water District personnel rules and regulations.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. Hello.
This is the San Gorgonio Pass resolution.
Pardon?
You said the rules and regulations, handbook rules and regulations?
With
We're
number
on-
10? That's what I'm saying. Didn't we just do 2 public hearings? And
I don't think we voted on that.
well, I asked if we voted on resolution 2021. Everybody said yes.
We
Okay, I'll
didn't vote
entertain a
on that one.
motion to adopt resolution 2021-21, which is recommending the adoption of San Gorgonio Pass groundwater sustainability plan in compliance with the Sustainability Groundwater Management Act.
So move.
Second,
Director
Um,
Sewell,
Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
Director Gracia,
yes.
Director Duncan,
Yes.
Vice President Martin,
Yes.
President Wright.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Now it's item number 10. Resolution number 2021-18, amending resolution number 2020-21, revision to Mission Springs Water District's personnel rules and regulations.
Nothing has been changed since we presented this on Thursday. So the language is exactly what we presented.
Okay, if I don't see anybody on the screen there, the board members that would like to speak, and I don't see anything in here, then I will entertain a motion to adopt resolution number 2021-18.
So move.
And,
I'll second it.
and I'm assuming, Madam President, there's no public comment on this item, but you might want to ask just to be safe.
Sure.
Does
But they should
anybody on this
turn-
call wish to make public comment on this item? Please unmute your microphone. Director Gracia, you're unmuted. Did you want to make comment? Okay. Madam President, there doesn't appear to be any public comment.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Director Sewell,
Yes.
Director Gracia,
Yes.
Director Duncan,
Yes.
Vice President Martin,
Yes.
President Wright.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, second amendment to contract agreement with Operational Technical Services for temporary staffing wastewater treatment plant operator. Brian gave us, or well, was it Brian that gave us that?
Yes.
On Thursday, a good report on that. Do I see any questions? See anybody want any more questions or?
No
discussion?
questions. Move the item for approval.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor. I'll entertain a second for
Second.
item number 11.
Director Sewell,
Yes.
Director Gracia,
Yes.
Director Duncan,
Yes. Yes.
Vice President Martin,
Yes.
President Wright.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, annual report of capacity fees and related capital expenditures.
I move for approval, item 12, annual report of
Okay.
capacity fees.
Thank
I'll
you.
second it.
Roll call vote, please.
Director Sewell,
Yes.
Director Gracia,
Yes.
Director Duncan,
yes,
Vice President Martin,
Yes.
President Wright.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Okay, I would like to, on this next one, which is Resolution 2021-20, commending Marge Cook, Groundwater Guardian Executive Director for Mission Springs Water District. I'd like to read the resolution that, for today. Okay. Okay, the Board of Directors of Mission Springs Water District commending Marge Cook for her services to Mission Springs Water District's Groundwater Guardian Program. Whereas Marge Cook has served as a Groundwater Guardian Executive Director for Mission Springs Water District for over 24 years. Whereas during her years of service as Groundwater Guardian Executive Director, Ms. Cook has diligently performed immeasurable tasks. And whereas during Ms. Cook's tenure, she has greatly enhanced the Groundwater Guardian Program through education, action, and innovation. And whereas Ms. Cook has always demonstrated the mission of the Groundwater Guardian Program by making us all part of the solution for clean, sustainable groundwater. And whereas during the course of those duties, Ms. Cook has endured herself to the board members and staff of the district. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Directors of Mission Springs Water District and its staff do hereby acknowledge and express sincere appreciation to Marge Cook for her service and dedication to the Mission Springs Water District and the communities it serves. Marge, you will be sorely missed. So, but Marge is still alive. So anyway, she's now, I was living in LA, I guess, and I will be calling her and reading her this resolution after we vote on it today. So I'll entertain a motion to.
Well, first, I'd like a comment.
Okay.
Ken,
Go for it.
is there any chance if this motion passes that we could arrange for her to get a nice plaque or something frameable?
We've already, yes.
Okay.
We're already, thank you. We're already
All right.
working on that. It's
All right,
wonderful.
great, great.
It's a water drop,
Okay,
but it's not made yet. So,
okay.
okay. Do I entertain a motion to adopt?
So move.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Director Sewell,
Yes.
Director Gracia,
Abstain.
Director Duncan,
yes,
Vice President Martin,
Yes.
President Wright.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. Election of officers for 2022. I will turn this over to our secretary. Dory, it's yours.
Okay, this is a call for nominations for board president for the term ending December 2022. Do we have any nominations for board president?
Yeah, I'd like to nominate Vice President Martin.
I will second that.
Thank you, Director Duncan. No seconds are necessary for these nominations.
I
Are
forgot.
there any more nominations for board president? Okay, with no further nominations, we will do a roll call vote. We still need a majority vote. Director Duncan,
Yes,
Director Gracia,
No.
Director Martin,
Yes.
Director Sewell,
Yes.
Director Wright, or President Wright.
Aye.
Thank you. Congratulations, Vice President Martin,
Thank you.
board president for the term ending December 2022.
Thank you.
I will now take nominations for the office of vice president.
I would like to nominate President Wright.
I should have asked this before. I'm assuming it was a yes. President Wright, do you accept that nomination?
Yes.
Thank you. Any other nominations for the position of vice president? Seeing no other nominations, we will take a roll call vote for vice president, term ending December 2022. The vote is for President Wright. Director Duncan,
yes,
Director Gracia,
No.
Director Martin,
Yes.
Director Sewell,
Yes.
President Wright.
Aye.
Congratulations, President Wright. You are the vice president for the term ending December 2022.
And it starts on January 1st, 2022, I believe.
That is correct.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Could I make a comment at this time?
Yes, you may.
First of all, I can't think of a time since I've been on the board where we've faced the challenges we have during the last year. And I have to say that President Wright has done an amazing job leading this board through a lot of difficult times. And it's her judgment and her experience has been absolutely phenomenal. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Thank you. And congratulations for here. In fact, see this? I'm gonna give it to him.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Next thing on the agenda, number 15, Critical Service Center and Administrative Building Update.
Nothing new since Thursday.
Okay, number 16, Regional Water Reclamation Facility Update.
Don't, unless Steve had some additional information, and I'm saying no, so nothing additional, no.
Thank you. Consent agenda, which includes item 17, approval of minutes of November 10th, 2021 and November 15th, 2021. Item number 18, our register of demands, and number 19, 2022 Board of Directors meeting schedule. Entertain a motion to, first, is there anybody on the line there would like to make a comment or pull something off of this consent agenda for
It
discussion?
doesn't appear that there are any other members of the public on the line.
Okay, thank you. Any board member?
No,
No, don't see any. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
so move.
Second,
Roll call vote, please.
Director Sewell,
yes.
Director Grasha,
Yes.
Director Duncan,
Yes.
Vice President Martin,
Yes.
President Wright.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, directors' reports. Vice President Martin, you want to do yours? Did you? You didn't do them on Monday or on Thursday, did you? Or did you have any?
Yeah, hold on here a second. Let me,
Director Duncan, do you have any?
Yes, I do. And I didn't do Thursday. The only thing I have on there for report is the Aqua Conference, which Ivan covered last week. It was a very different conference.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Conference. Everything about it, it just felt different, and the layout was quite different. One of the breakout sessions I went to, and this was something new they tried, was getting actually the Aqua attendees at a table to kind of sit and talk about different subjects. And I wound up at a table with the general manager from Lake Arrowhead, a director who is a farmer from the Central Valley, and myself out in the desert. And the only thing we could really agree on was one solution was not going to work for all three of us. There was nothing that we could possibly, all use as the catch-all. But other than that, it was a good conference, but it was very different. It had its own little feel to it. So, and that's all I have. Except for I heard a rebuttal, but the general manager from Lake Arrowhead absolutely spanked our in golf. And
You believe that?
He has rebutted that statement, just to be fair.
You had to do that, huh, Randy? Every chance you get.
It was a lot of fun visiting. They have different issues up there than we have down here. And it's, of course, and
We're out of water
really
already.
fun. It was fun getting to know her and knowing the agency she works for.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to go now?
yeah.
Okay.
On November 2nd, excuse me a second, I attended or on Zoom, actually, November 2nd, the Riverside County Supervisors, Board of Supervisors meeting. It was basically a workshop on SB 9 and SB 10 with the development of housing in unincorporated parts of the county and whether current infrastructure can accommodate. County has no say or approval to address housing shortage. Additional information requested to be brought back for further discussion. And that took up a lot of time during the supervisors meeting. On November 16th, I'll move ahead on that. Wait a second. Attended a meet and greet for City Councilwoman Jan Harnick. Also the tour of the East Valley Water District. Was a very interesting tour, and it's quite a facility. And what I like about it is you don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's a facility that's designed to be. We could adopt it right here without paying anything extra for new aspects of the building. So. On the 10th, attended the Desert Valley Builders Association Public Works Luncheon. Was an excellent presentation. Attended the Veterans Day ceremony at Vets Park, and that's always a well-attended neighborhood event. Again, the County Board of Supervisors, they had redistricting public hearings that went on for a while, and then city council meeting the same day. Not much to discuss there on that issue. Coachella Valley Conservation Commission. And the Energy and Environmental Resources Committee. I was an alternate for Supervisor Hewitt and attended both of those meetings. And that pretty much concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. I did on the Aqua Conference. I did go to the California Groundwater Coalition meeting with Arden, and we spoke a little bit about that. Arden was voted in as a member of their board. They had a good presentation on water trading. It's all groundwater. Their budget is $139,565. They at that meeting, they signed an agreement with the lobbying service of Clear Advocacy Agreement for administrative and lobbying services for 2022 for this organization. Rosanna, what's Rosanna's last name? Do you? Bachel? Covacho. Okay, and so there was many other topics about groundwater, the MCL for Chrome 6, and all the different things that would come up for groundwater issues and possibly maybe need some legislation. So I think it's a very worthwhile group to belong to. Then I also went to the groundwater committee meeting. The Department of Water Resources, they had updates on Bulletin 118, groundwater levels, well infrastructure, land subsidence, and water trading. Water trading is becoming a real hot topic for some of the organizations, or the GSAs are seeing that it can help them with their GSPs and becoming sustainable by doing maybe some of this water trading, but there's a lot of talk about it. Also SB 170 for critical overdraft basins. I talked about that. Executive drought declaration that was, I believe back then it was just declared not too long before that. And a regulatory update. Also Trevor Joseph, who you know, Arden, he used to work for Department of Water Resources, is now the Sigma Implementation Subcommittee for Aqua and the Groundwater Quality Committee. Also not him, but the chair of that one and the Legislative Issue Subcommittee. All three of those committees chairs were there and they gave updates on theirs. And so did Cindy Tuck from Aqua, who's our California lobbyist, and David Reynolds, who's our federal affairs lobbyist. Okay, then I also went to the Region 9 meeting. And what happens at the Region 9 meeting? Well, the first thing, the proposed changes to the Region 9 rules and regulations. They did do a quickie a change. We voted on a change. And basically all as it said, here, I'll read it to you. When possible, the chair and vice chair should strive to be from different areas within Region 9. Remember I told you before, we go back and forth from arid to dry. The two top officials, the president, vice president, has to be 1 year, it has to be one, and the next year it has to be the other. Well, now they're saying when possible, the chair and vice chair should strive to be from different areas within Region 9. The positions should alter between the western and arid areas every region, every region board term. So now they've added the words possible and they've added the word should instead of have to. It's not a necessity anymore, but they're saying that that's kind of what they want us to look at and to try to go in that route. But if you can't, then you can go the other route. And also there was a federal PFAS priorities, which I thought this was interesting. All PFAS related legislation must exempt water and wastewater agencies from any liability of PFAS cleanup costs. This is legislation that it encourages water agencies and stakeholders to take action by contacting your legislator to advocate for those following priorities, which that's one of the priorities is the liability of the PFAS. And the other one is when setting drinking water standards for PFOA and Pfas, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency should utilize current methodology. That was another one that Aqua wants to get out there. So those are the two on the federal PFAS. Instead of having, number one, instead of having like us, the groundwater people, the groundwater agencies that are supplying the water with the chemicals in it or the contaminants in it, pay for it. Instead of having our ratepayers have to pay for that, they're looking at making it the liability for the ones who actually where it came from. So I think that's pretty good. We need to keep up on that. And so you are what you have on your name tag? You were the outreach captain or outreach. So that this is what the outreach guys do, is they write these letters of support for things. And that was about it. Besides, I thought it was a good conference. I go for the technical stuff, so I usually find something very interesting there.
I also in a couple of the meetings we were at, and you were with me, as I'm not really sure, but I don't think, I mean, there were a lot of people that were proposing that we hold this Washington, D.C. Meeting, although, you know, since then there's been a lot of pandemic concerns over the pandemic. And so I got the impression that Aqua did not want to do the federal affairs meeting.
Yeah, especially in February, because it takes a long time to put it together from what they were saying. And we haven't heard anything yet. So I'm assuming no. And if they do, it might be later in the year, but.
Yeah, we kind of had that impression, didn't we, Nancy? Okay.
And especially now, since they haven't done anything after the comments of, we think that there was several people there that thought that we should go to DC in February or whatever.
Yeah, there were, but you know,
I wasn't so sure. Anyway, okay, thank you. Now we'll go on to director's reports.
we just did that.
Oh, then we'll go on to general manager's reports.
Nothing new since Thursday, other than I will be available, but my daughter, of course, is here from Illinois, and so I'm going to spend a few days with her this week. So, but if you do have any questions, just call me. I can be here. I might come in every once in a while. But I have taken those days off as vacation days, so, okay.
Okay. Okay, number 22, district council comments.
Yes, I gave my report on Thursday. Today, we will have a closed session, and it will only be on item number 27, which is listed on the agenda, Mission Springs Water District versus Desert Water Agency.
Okay, thank you.
We
Now,
should,
Director's com-
shouldn't we be having an update on the other case?
Director's comments, please. Okay, item number 23. Vice President Martin, you have any comments?
No, thank you.
Just want to wish everyone a happy holidays.
Thank you.
Director Duncan?
Yeah, I do. Want to first start by echoing Russ's comments. Nancy, I've been on the board several times where you were president, and you always do a good job, especially, on the back-to-back spots. I know that gets a little taxing after a while, but especially with this COVID going on, that made it exceptionally difficult trying to figure out how to get everybody to work from, all different parts of the city and how to hold meetings. And, that was tough, but you did a good job, and thank you. And Russ, I've been on when you were president. You always do a good job. I know you'll do the same. You'll do good this next year.
Thank you.
And then again, like Ivan said, Merry Christmas to all and Happy New Year's.
Thank you, Randy. Director Gracia?
I have a press conference scheduled for this week to discuss the district's loss in the case against Desert Water Agency. And I having trouble finding references to that on the district's website. It seems to have been wiped clean when the servers were updated. And I'm want to make sure that I have all the information possible to be able to direct the media's attention to the past statements of the district. Maybe you could help me with getting a hold of that information so that we live within our promise of full transparency on issues of this nature. You spent millions of dollars on this and just had it handed to you. And to get this far into a meeting and not have that discussed, I find to be insulting, and would like to have your response to the request for information as soon as possible.
So just to be clear, Madam President, normally public agencies discuss these items in closed session with their legal counsel so they can decide what their next steps are, whether they're going to appeal, et cetera. And also the case is still pending. So the appropriate place to have that discussion is in closed session.
Thank you, Mr. Pinckney. I agree. Okay. So we will be going into close. Oh, I have one thing. There's a bag back there that I brought in of tangerines, and they are from a tree that we water with Mission Springs Water District water, and they're very good. They always are very good every year. They're a little bit sour right now, but give them a few days and they'll be really, really sweet. So grab a few on your way out, and whatever's left, please take upstairs to the gang up there. And yes, and everybody have a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, and have a wonderful 2022, beginning of 2022. We're all hoping that that 2022 is going to be a little bit better, but a meaningful 2022 is probably a good way to put it. Wish you all that, a meaningful 2022. So we will now be going into closed session. We'll take a few minutes here, 2-minute break. We'll come back and say if there was any action taken. Thank you. Okay, we're at a closed session. Report on action taken during closed session. Mr. Pinckney.
Yes, the board met in closed session on item number 27, which was conference with legal counsel regarding existing litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9 D1. Case number PSC 1600676, Mission Springs Water District versus Desert Water Agency. There is no reportable action taken. Thank you.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned.